Welcome back to my channel. We all know that there are five vowels in English language, namely A, E, I, O, U. Apart from these five vowels, if the same vowel is repeated like A, that will be a long vowel, right? Similarly, E, I, O, U can be long vowels. There is not much significance in English language for these long vowels, but in other languages like for example my own native language Telugu, uh, we have dirghaksharas. Dirghakshara in the sense akshara is letter, dirghakshara is long letter. So that is very much prevalent in our, all the Indian languages. So if you have a letter called A, then you will have a letter called A also. So that is a long vowel. And there are, if you combine two letters together, that syllable is called diphthong. So there are many diphthongs which are part of vowels in Indian languages. Let us say, for example, there is a diphthong called ow. There is another called I. So such diphthongs are not there in English letters, English vowels, but they are not part of vowels rather. So they are called diphthongs. So there are AE, there can be AE, AI, AO, AU, EI, EO, EU, IO, IU, OU. So these there in other languages, especially in Indian languages, we have vowels which are combined vowels in the sense there is the vowel ow. Ow is nothing but OU, right? And there is a vowel called I. So AI is can be pronounced as I. So let me show you my the languages in my the vowels in my own language. And just please give me a second. These are the vowels in my language. This is the first letter in my language. That is the first letter in my language. A. A. This is a long vowel, and there is a letter like combined letter like this is I. I. And this letter is called ow. Ow is nothing but O U. Ow. So we have not five vowels. We have in fact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16 vowels in fact, not basically just five vowels. So you can as well see the pronunciation here. This letter is ow, AU, and this letter is see AI, AU. Like that, we have different diphthongs in this in the sense there are so many diphthongs. In fact, that our language has 56 letters altogether. So these are the basically combined vowels or diphthongs. So most we'll be using some of them very frequently in the sense the sound of OU, the sound of AI, we generally use. We also use the U, EU, U. So that's pretty much about diphthongs, and let us see what how they will affect our basically the structure of our universe, in the sense the what do you call the structure of the worlds, physical world. We have seen that the vowels in fact represent the number of planets. The two digits in the prime numbers, they represent a planet, and the number of steps in the sense that is that number of the world. This is the first loka. A is the first loka, or the adi loka, or whatever, A, right? And then B is the firmament. So let us not bother about the firmament. Firmament is, in fact, its number is 3. And let us continue with this. From here, we have the words. Sixth loka or world is E, right? And it has one planet to begin with and 7 planets to end with, right? So instead, if you take, let us say, the present world, our world is 33 going on 34, and what if we take something in between in the sense from this 33, let's say, no, not quite. Basically, what I mean to say is, let us take this example. If you have vowel E, which is the sixth word, sixth loka, and this is a which word? 10th loka. I is 10th loka. 10th loka and 6th loka. In between, there are, let us say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 lokas in between E and I, right? There are from A to B, 1, 2. 2 lokas are there between A and B. So what do you call those lokas? So we have given these lokas the names, but there are in between worlds. So what do we call them? Those are nothing but basically A, B and B. E will not be there because B itself is not there in the, it is just a firmament. So there are no corresponding vowels. But from E to I, there are in fact 7 more lokas. So what do you call those 7 lokas? Then what comes into picture is this loka you can call it EA, this loka you can call it EI, this loka you can call it EU, E O, EU, like that. You can combine 2 letters and then name these in between lokas. Those are nothing but those are represented by the diphthongs. EI, for example, EI, IO, OU, and UN. These are the diphthongs. So you can use these diphthongs as well to describe the lokas, words. So that we have covered. And what was this? Similarities. This we have covered. So diphthong IU. Before proceeding further, I want to explain diphthong IU. In Sanskrit, there is a vakya. The Vedanta has some vakyas, mahavakyas, they call them. Those mahavakyas, something like word. Vakya in Sanskrit means sentence. So it's a mahavakya in the sense it is a saying, like it becomes a saying, kind of. So, in Sanskrit, we have this Mahavakya called Aham Brahmasmi. In the sense, it means Aham means self, Brahmasmi means I am the universe. Brahma is nothing but universe. Aham Brahmasmi means I am the universe. In the sense, the soul is called, self is called Atma in Sanskrit, and universe is called Brahman. So here, what we mean by Aham Brahmasmi is the self is nothing but the universe. In the sense, they are not separate, they are one and the same. So, in fact, in Vedanta, the what do you call? There in Hindu mythology, Hindu religion, there are three schools of thought. The first is called Advaita. Advaita is nothing but it was the proponent of Advaita was Adi Shankara. There was a saint called Adi Shankara from Kerala in India. He proposed that the self, Atma, the self, and Paramatma, the universe or the Brahman, are one and the same. He said Advaita. Advaita means Dvaita means two. Dvi, anywhere, if you encounter the syllable Dvi, it is two. It denotes two. So, Advaita means there are no two Atmas. There is only one Atma, which is both Atma and Paramatma. In fact, this is corroborated by the string theory, in fact. String theory says the whole universe is made up of a small string like structure. When it vibrates with a particular frequency, a particular object is formed. So, everything is made up of Brahman only. So, string theory kind of corroborates the Advaita Siddhanta of Adi Shankara. And the second school of thought was Dwaitha. Dwaitha means the proponent of Dwaitha Siddhanta is Vallabhacharya. Vallabhacharya from Gujarat, I think. So he said the self, Atma, and the Paramatma, the universe, the self and universe are two separate entities. So he called it Dwaita. Dvaita in the sense nothing but two entities. Self and universe are different. Atma and Paramatma are different. He segregated them altogether. So that means the soul and the oversoul are two different things, entities. There is a third school of thought in which was proposed by a saint called Ramanuja. What Ramanuja proposed was, the theory he proposed was called Vishishtadvaita. meaning special Advaita. Vishishta means special. Something like Einstein's special relativity. He has, the first one was general relativity and the second theory was special relativity. So here what Ramanuja said was the self and universe are one, yet they have different bodies. Not quite bodies, identities rather. So Atma and Paramatma are one and the same, yet they maintain different identities. That was Vishishtadvaita. So, why I am telling about all these? This is kind of the highest level of philosophy in Hindu religion. So, there are followers for all three schools of thought, but mostly Adi Shankara was very famous. Adi Shankara's Dwaitha Vedantha was very famous. Of course, they were all famous. It's not question of fame, but the thing is, number of followers. I think Adi Shankara had most followers rather than Vallabhacharya or Ramanuja. I think I don't know for sure. But why I am talking about these Vedanta, schools of Vedanta, different sects in Hindu religion. The diphthong IU, I means self. The letter I, it is pronounced as I means self, me. U means universe. U is nothing but Brahman. If you compare it with Sanskrit words, I is Aham, this is Aham, U is Brahma. So, the saying that, the famous saying, Aham Brahmasmi, is actually represented by IU. IU, in the sense, I is you. Self is universe. Just like string theory. As in string theory, everything is made up of a string and different frequencies result in different objects. So I am the result of one particular frequency of that string, and universe is also made up of same string. So I am universe. That is what this means. So it is, the meaning is very deep. So I felt like explaining that. Next, let us come here. This is, I have never discussed this subject before. In Gnostic schools of thought, they believe that the universe was created by, of course, an archon, chief archon. Chief archon, I always show you that diagram. This is my favorite diagram, in fact. The Gnostic cosmos. This is the Gnostic cosmos. So this, in the Gnostic cosmos, this guy, Yaldabaoth, is the archigenitor. So this archigenitor, in some other schools of what do you call Gnostic philosophy, they believe that This is a guy called ABRAXAS. ABRAXAS, right? So this guy ABRAXAS has the head of a rooster. Upper body is like that of a human, but his legs are like two snakes, right? And he rides on a chariot pulled by 4 horses. 4 horses. So that's a wonderful, in fact, basically he is nothing but what we call otherwise in the Gnostic terminology, he is a Yaldabaoth, right? So this Y is the ABRAXAS. So that ABRAXAS, the Greek letters have associated numbers with them. So A is associated with 1, B is associated with 2, R is associated with 100, A is associated with 1 again, of course he is explaining this, and S is associated with 200, X is associated with 60. So the total of ABRAXAS, ABRAXAS, comes to 365. It is believed that some of the Gnostic schools believe that this guy is the one, he had 365 archons and he made the 365 days of the year with each of those archons. So now let us see how we can relate that with our own design. See, we had, let me show you our design. It was like this. Rather, I will show you this one. Not even that. Take this one. See here, we had you. Within you, you have, what was that? What I wanted to show you. Yeah, the U, how U looks like actually. So let us see. U is somewhat looks like this. There is the U 21 squared here, and within 21 squared we have from here to here the 15 squared, and this is the 6 cube. 15 squared, 6 cube, right? So this is one U. These snakes, his legs are rather, his one leg is one U, the other leg is another U. So 21 squared, 21 squared. Inside this, here it is the, what do you call, 15 squared. I mean, the 8 squared is nothing but I have given why this is this chessboard you see here is a very deep concept. I will explain in some other time probably. Basically, it is nothing but 8 squared is I have in fact I have shown you the letters which represent which planet, right, earlier, right, when we saw those. Let me show you here the lokas, patala, rasatala, talatala. There is some difference here, I think. Let us see Bhuloka. Bhuloka, the earth is represented by 8 squared, right? 8 squared, or H, letter H was represented earth. The letter H also represents Horus, the what do you call Egyptian god Horus. So there is a chessboard here which has 8 white squares and 8 black squares, right? So 8 into 8, that is 64. So 8 black squares are the earth, material world, material. 8 white squares are nothing but the sun. So 8 square, 8 into 8 is 64. So the sun and earth both represent 8 square. So this is a combination of sun and earth. That is why the chessboard has 8 black and 8 white squares. So the world below this is another world below earth. There will be 8 squares, 8 there will be a sun, but that sun is for us, when we look from here, he looks like 4 square, not 8 square, right? For the lower world, the sun is 4 square. The upper world, our world, the sun is 8 squared. So similarly, after this is gone, the next world, the next is letter P. P is nothing but 16 squared. P is 16 squared, right? 16th letter. So this P is in between. This P supplies energy to this 8 square and this 8 square, right? P is nothing but 16 square is nothing but 256, which is basically 64s, 4 suns, 464s are this 16 square. So this P supplies energy to 8 square and 8 square. And next there is this guy 24 square. 24 square is 576. It has 5th, 6th and 7th realms. It's combination of 5th, 6th, 7th, not realms. In fact, the when I say realms, you may get confused with these realms, the lokas. These are not lokas. This is at a higher level, let's say dimensions. 5, 6, 7 combination, this 24 square is nothing but 576. So 7 is in the middle, 5 and 6 are on either side. And then this 25 squared, of course, this guy is the ABRAXAS or Yaldabaoth, what we call. So this guy, with the help of 24 square, rules the lower world. And then this guy, 26 squared, this is what we call Z, when we say Zion, or mostly the Jews worship Z, they're called Zionists, so they worship Z. So this Z is 26 squared. 26 squared is nothing but 786. 786, if you observe, that number is let me check one second, because I'm getting a little doubtful here. 28 into 28 is 784, yeah, not 786. So 784, this 8, it has 8th dimension, 7th dimension and 4th dimension. So basically 784, and some basically some religions consider the number 786 as a very lucky number. In fact, Satsavchiyasi, they say, that is considered very sacred, which is nothing but 28 squared plus 2, because it is an even number 1. If you want to get a stable configuration, you have to add 2 for even numbers to any square. If the square is even, you have to add 2. I have been explaining this from the beginning. So that is 784 and 786. 786 meaning that will be the 8th dimension has 7 and 6 on either side. So that is Z. Not quite Z. That was 28 squared. We thought. No. This 26 squared is interesting. 26 squared is 676. Sorry. Yeah. I'm very sorry. I explained about 28 squared directly, but we were still in the 26. So 26 squared is basically 676 in the sense the seventh dimension has two dimensions on either side. So that is the 26, the Zion, sorry. So again, then 28 squared has 8th dimension having 7 and 6 on either side is 28 squared. So that was that, and then let us go here. Yeah, basically I just wanted to explain what 42 is. 42, as we know, is the 42nd. Let me show you, because this is a 42nd prime number is 181. So let us see what 181 could mean. 181 is basically starts here and ends here, in the sense it contains both the whole world in the sense the material world, from here to here. This is 21 square, this is 21 square. From here to here, whatever is the material world, that is made of 42. So 42 is nothing but 21 plus 21. And in the English letters, 18th letter is R, first letter is A. A. So if you combine these two, it will be RA, nothing but Ra. He is the Ra of this whole region. To use 21 plus 21, that is basically, you see, 42 is sum of 2 U's, as in ABRAXAS legs. ABRAXAS has these 2 legs, right? Those 2 legs are nothing but 2 U's, and this whole combined thing is 42 for the, so Ra rules over this whole thing, this whole thing. Now, I think pretty much I have covered everything except this probably. Now, earlier, this is nothing but the Pascal's triangle, or the, as I told you, they call it the stairway to heaven. And I will never be bored to discuss the Chichen Itza pyramid. Wherever I can, I include that. So as you can see, this is the Chichen Itza pyramid, and we have seen that 15 squared was here, and the 6 cube was here. 6 cube is the Patala. This guy, this bird, the wings of the bird is 15 squared. So basically, these were the equations we had. These are the equations for the lokas. This is the Patala loka. This is Mahatala. I think I explained yesterday. I will show you. This is the one. Yeah. This is Garbhatala, Patala, Mahatala. So from here, Patala 1 squared, we have it in this figure, we have the 1 squared here. So 0 square. Okay, even 0 square is Garbhatala. This is Patala. This is the Mahatala. Mahatala and 6 square. This is here. There is something wrong here. Basically, this should have been 10 squared. Yeah, this is the Vitala. I repeated same 3 squared here. It should have been 10 squared. Not 10. 3 square is correct. Yeah. I'm getting confused because both have 3 squares. The cube changes. This is the moon. This is ruled by moon. Moon is 3 squared as well as 3 cube. And but Vitala is 3 squared plus 4 cube, 10 squared. So yeah, it is 3 squared itself. But so what I mean is this is Garbhatala, Patala, Mahatala, Vitala, and then you have for this Bruhaspati, this is Rahu, and of course this is let me check because I don't remember how I named them right now. So basically the Dilish one is Garbhatala, next is Patala, next is Mahatala, Vitala, Bruhaspati, Shani and Rahu. Yeah, that was Shani. Okay, so yeah, that's what I got down. So this is Rahu, this is Shani, this is Bruhaspati, and this is Brihaspati. Basically, we are talking about the worlds here. Don't look at these CGG numbers. We are only talking about this. So this is Rahu, this is Shani, this is Brihaspati, this is Vitala, this is Mahatala, this is Patala, this is Garbhatala. So there are 2 underworlds. This is the 3rd world, that is the crust of earth. In fact, 3 square is 9 plus 1, 10, which contains water. This has air, this has only fire. So this, you can say, this is the crust of the earth. So that is why in the Chichen Itza pyramid, the snake head was away from the pyramid, and this is basically the underground. And this is the Shukra guy. So there is one wing here because the bird sound we were hearing when we clap at northwest corners was the one which will come from here. So this is basically, yeah, these are the, if you say levels, these lokas are underworlds, -1, -2, these 2 are underworlds. That is why they are minus worlds. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 planets are outside the, from above the earth. So these are below earth, these are above earth. So I explained many a time, but what I wanted to explain was, further was, this does not end here, but basically here the next level, from next level onwards, there will not be only one digit in the center, and rest will not be rest will be different numbers. Basically what happens is, after 6, what happens is, you can see it here. See, there is 126 and 126. On either side there may be numbers, but in the center there is no there are 2 numbers in the center, not 1 number. That happens only after 6. So from here onwards, after 6, basically there will be dual worlds. Dual worlds in the sense, There's a whole lot of, in fact, talk of parallel universes in the scientific world these days. So these are kind of parallel worlds. 126 is parallel world. 462 and 462 is a parallel world. But you see, if you look at the in between thing, 252 again is only one. So they alternate. Here you see 70 is only one. So when you have these two, there are two words. When you have this such numbers like 70 and 252, you have only one word. So one guy controls the whole thing. Here, two guys control the whole thing. So that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you. So very interesting subject. These are very interesting subjects. I think we have covered wonderful subjects. And yeah, there is one more, I think. The RAS, we discussed some time back about the ion, subordinates, and title. The title of the head, rather, you can say. So, if you observe some of these, here, if you observe these names, especially this name, that is the seventh Q, 17th letter is Q. 17th letter is Q. It is under 21st letter. 21st letter is nothing but U, 21 square. Its name would be rather, in fact, instead of having Ra in the beginning, I changed it to this letter followed by Ra, because it makes sense, because he is the use Ra. So use Ra and Q, if you take, it becomes Urak. What does it remind you of? It reminds you of a country, which is that Iraq. In fact, in the olden days, Iraq was called Uruk. Uruk. So this is Iraq. And similarly, this title is Uran. Uran is these days, those days it was called Uran, but these days we call it Iran, right? Instead of U, they have pushed it down to this level and it became Iran. And it was Uruk in those days. Even this, instead of A, they had U, Uruk, they used to call it. Now it has become Iraq. So these names are mostly the country. They give country names, I think. I feel, but I am not very sure. But definitely there is some connection. I couldn't make out the connection as yet. So some other day I may come up with that. So that's it. I think for today we have covered a lot of subjects, and of course I just wanted to tell you one thing. If you know about birds and snakes, birds always protect their kids with their life. They even are ready to give up their lives to protect their progeny. Whereas the opposite is true for snakes. Snakes, in fact, eat their own children. You know, snake, once it gives birth to its children, it is so hungry that it eats its own children, they say. So the what I'm trying to drive at is the nature. The nature of bird is protection. The nature of snake is destruction. Or it doesn't even think twice to eat its own children. So very negative. This is very positive nature. This is very negative nature. So with that, I conclude. Thank you for watching the video.